Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tips and Bricks podcast, where we discuss all things Lego and share some of the community's best tips about those bricks we all love. My name is Bethany, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm one of the hosts of our podcast. Today, I'm joined by fellow co host Clay. Clay, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good today. Actually, we did some Christmas decorating this morning, so our house is in a little bit of disarray, but we have two trees up this year. And
Ooh.
normally one has like these, my husband's grandma's old glass ornaments, and then we did Starbucks in the past, but this year we decided to change it this morning to his grandma's ornaments and Lego. So we have all sorts
Ooh.
of Lego ornaments, and I was like up in the room earlier wanting to stop and build new ornaments, but I was like, no, we gotta finish decorating. So it's been a fun and exciting day, already full of Lego, and I'm super thrilled to talk about some more with y'all.
Well, this week, Clay and I are joined by a very special guest. You may know her from watching Lego Masters Season 4, or you may know her from her incredible mocks that she shares on social media. But I'd like to welcome Kelly to our podcast.
Yay, thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I've been a big fan of Tips and Bricks for a long time and listened to the podcast when you guys got started. So I am very honored and excited to be here talking with you.
It makes me so happy that you've been listening to it and
Right.
like it. I assume you like it. I'm
I
hoping.
do like it. Yes,
Okay.
you do a good job, both of you. It's very entertaining.
Oh, good.
Yeah, sometimes it does feel like we're shouting into the void. So I love hearing that
Nope.
Lego lovers are out there.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, since this is your first time with us, you know already that we love to ask people a question the first time that they join us, and that's just about the Lego hobby, which can mean like 9 million things to everyone, whether it's an online community, maybe going on Lego Masters, building with a friend. So we'd love to hear about your experience with the hobby and like what your most favorite part of that Lego hobby is.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a good opener. I've been a Lego builder, I say my whole life. I mean, obviously it wasn't since I was born, but I can remember being like 4 years old and getting a Lego set for Christmas. And I've just loved building growing up. I was a set builder, and then I got into mock building as an adult. So there was this transition for me, and I don't do many sets anymore. I do a lot of mocks, but for me, my favorite part of Lego, the Lego hobby, is just that it was this unexpected art medium for me. And I think it is for a lot of people too. You can be so many different things in the Lego hobby, in the Lego community. You can be a set builder, you can be a mock builder, you can be a collector, you can focus on minifigs, you can be a parts junkie or a parts nut, and just like go over all the parts and stuff. But for me, what I love is just that it's art. And I never expected that when I was growing up. I never thought of it as art. I thought of it as play. I was playing with my sets and I was building things. And then it wasn't until recently becoming a mock builder that I see it as an art medium. And for me, that's been a great discovery because I've always enjoyed art, and I've tried my hand at other types of art like sketching, painting, drawing, and I always am afraid to make a mistake. I don't love my final product because I see the things that I wish were different and it's too late to go back and change it, or I have to paint over it or something, and it's all about correcting those mistakes that I see.
Mm.
And when I
Yeah.
build something out of Lego bricks and pieces, I'm okay to make mistakes because I know that if I don't like it, I can take apart everything. And it's like it never happened. Like I don't have to cover up my mistakes. I can just be free to make mistakes in the first place and then edit them and change them and say, well, I don't like this part. I wish it looked like this. And I can find the right pieces to make it look like that. And I can just feel a little more free with my creativity. And so for me, that's been the best part of the Lego hobby.
That's awesome. I know we've spoken at in some episodes somewhere before we talked about Lego like as an art form, and it really is so freeing in that way you said because unlike paint, like that's very permanent. You
Yes.
just have that ability to like constantly recreate over and over again. So I love that way
Yes.
you described
Yeah,
it.
I love it. And there's still a lot out. I mean, you can still build the sets and I still enjoy that. But for me, it's the creativity that really has made it really fun for me.
Well, and I never thought about it that way too, but yeah, I dabbled once a long time ago in oil painting and watercolor painting. And yeah, you try to go fix something and suddenly it just becomes a mess. It's probably a reflection of my skills more than the art form itself. But yeah, with Lego, you can just take down a layer of brick,
Yes.
rebuild it again, and no one knows the struggle per se
Yes,
that you went through.
exactly. And for me, that was so freeing. And I thought, I could do anything. I can try anything. I'm not afraid to try things, whereas I would have been afraid to try sketching or painting something because I think, oh, this paper is really expensive. I don't want to waste it. I don't want to make a bad creation because it's all wasted. But with Lego, when you're building something, I'm like, well, I'm just going to try to build this. And if I don't like it, I disassemble the whole thing. And it's like, never happened. I didn't make that mistake. It's nothing's wasted. Like your creativity just fosters more creativity and you just learn and grow. And I love that.
Awesome. And I mean, Bethany and I met at Brickworld Chicago, and if you want to believe that Lego is an art form, go to a convention because you see all sorts of scales. Lenticulars were really popular at
Yes.
Brickworld Chicago last year, so like, from mosaics to lifelike sculptures, I mean, you can take a Lego brick and do anything you want to with it. So,
Yeah, it's
wonderful.
amazing. I'm always very inspired when I go to conventions because I love showing the things that I've made. It's really fun to just show them off so other people can see them. But I love seeing what other people have come up with, things that I never would have thought of. I take pictures of everything and I just kind of keep them in a file and see, what techniques people used, what ideas they had in their head. Some are just really abstract and creative, and some are, making a model of something they saw on a TV or a movie or whatever. And I think, well, that'd be really fun to make that. It just shows how differently we all think because I see things that I never would have thought of, and it's really inspiring.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we're already starting to get into our question of the week with this conversation. So let's go ahead and move into that segment if you want to take us there, Bethany.
This week, I'm hosting our question of the week. Every episode, we try to share a burning question about Lego that we'll answer together. From minifigs and mini dolls to display pieces or even holiday ornaments, Lego exists in all shapes, all sizes. If you were to go to a convention, browse Instagram, look at Flickr, maybe peruse Kelly's account, you'll also find a variety of sizes and scales of builds. With this question in mind, we've prepared our question of the week to be, what is your favorite scale to build in? Now, Kelly, before you and Clay dive in first, I'm just going to set the groundwork. So in case if people are going, how can there be more than one scale of Lego? Lego is Lego. There are different names for scales. There's minifig scale or mini doll scale when you build something that's like a minifigure could go living in. There's micro scale, meaning it's smaller than that. I've seen people call it life size or replicas, and I've seen them refer to like maxi figs when you like make something that's for a really big Lego character but isn't quite human size. I know there are many other scales out there, but those are some of the popular ones. So, Kelly, I'll throw it to you first. What is your favorite scale to build in?
My favorite scale is probably a little bit bigger than minifig scale. So I love being able to add in a lot of details. And I find that I can do that best when I size it up a little bit and go just a little bit larger than what a minifig scale would be like. So like if you take a piece like a cheese slope, for example, it fits a certain purpose in a minifig build. It's going to be like I don't know, a top to something or a roof shingle or
Or a piece of cheese, perhaps.
piece of cheese. There you go.
Though it is a big piece of cheese at that
Yeah,
scale.
it's a big wedge. But if you take that same piece and you're working in a larger scale, that one piece just becomes a smaller detail in a larger model of something that you're building. You're able to get in more details with smaller pieces in a larger scale. So I like that. I know that I have a few models on my Instagram that you can look at that are in that slightly larger than minifig scale. I did display two pieces at Lego House Masterpiece Gallery last year, and those were both larger than minifig scale. I don't know what the name of the scale would be because I don't think it's quite the scale of Legoland figures, if that's
Mhm.
called MIDI scale,
I think MIDI land,
MIDI,
yeah.
MIDI scale.
MIDI scale.
I think it was a little bit smaller than that, but it's bigger than minifig scale. It's just anything that's kind of sized up from minifig scale. That's my favorite. But I also like to build replica or one-to-one scale, life-size scale, for the same reason is that you can get more details into a larger build using those small Lego pieces.
Yeah.
When it came to the Lego Masters episode, when you made the clarinet, was that something that was like, oh yes, one-to-one scale, this is my wheelhouse? Or was that kind of your first introduction to it? Or how did that fall in your timetable of that scale?
I had built something before I went on Lego Masters. There was a company that asked me to build them a life-size model of a laptop. And that was my first real introduction to it. I said, yes, I could build this laptop. Wasn't quite sure how, but I kind of worked it out. And so I had made this life-size laptop that opened and closed. It had the details I liked in it. And I had so much fun doing it that when I got on Lego Masters and they gave us this challenge of create a life-size replica of any object in this room, I was pretty excited because I thought, yeah, okay, I've done this before. This is good. And so Emily and I got to talking about what the right object would be to pick from that room because they had a lot of choices in there. And I felt like
Mm.
some would have been too ambitious to take on for the amount of time we were given, and some wouldn't be ambitious enough. So we kind of had to find that right balance of creating a replica that could fool a judge's eye and still get in all those details, the details that I like to build. So I was really excited for that challenge. That was my favorite of all the challenges that Emily and I did on our season.
Well, and it really embodies what you were talking about with using those parts from minifig scale, but in different ways. Because I recall y'all had, I think there was a rat and wings, like a lot of really cool
Mm.
MPU that has such a clear purpose at the minifig scale. But when
Yes.
you're expanding it into a larger scale, you can do so much more with it than only representing this as a rat.
Yes, exactly. That we had so much fun with that. So I remember we went to the brick pit and we knew the keys were going to have to be light bluish gray because they didn't have silver pieces. So we're going with light bluish gray to do all the keys in, all the keys of the clarinet, which if you haven't seen a clarinet, it has a lot of keys on it, like more than other wind instruments. But anyway, we pulled out every single piece of light bluish gray, minifig accessories, just any kind of piece, all the light bluish gray. And we just kind of looked at shapes overall and just tried to match the general shape of the piece with the piece on the clarinet that we were building. It was really fun to try to get some of those NPU in there because we had a rat, we had a chicken, we had wings, we had frying pans. We had so many unusual things in there that passed for clarinet keys, and it made the whole thing feel extra special when we were done because we knew all those little bits were in there.
Those details are so fun to see, and it does make sense that they're much easier to find at that scale. I guess kind of on the reverse of that, and I would say I am more of a observer of this scale than necessarily a builder of it myself, though I've tried it a few times. But I love micro scale. Like the
Mm.
old
Mm.
architecture skylines, just tiny little cities or whatever someone wants to build. And I find that the MPU in those are so cool. Like on the opposite side, where something that, again, at a minifig scale or an architecture has its own meaning, but then when you shrink it down there, just like this tiny little part, like the one by one plate with tooth, suddenly becomes something so much different when it's part of a building in a micro scale form instead.
Mm.
Yeah, for me, that's a whole skill set that I don't feel strong enough to do yet. Like I've been focusing my builds on the things I like to do is that larger than minifig scale or even minifig scale, but micro scale is its own set of looking at the parts differently to see what those pieces could become in micro scale. And I don't feel like that's a strong suit for me, but I would like to get there because I see micro scale builds that are so impressive and I wish I could do that. So that'll come at some point. I'll work on that when I'm feeling inspired, but yeah, I'm always very impressed too.
I will say that one of the ways I built in that micro scale before, I was just doing like a few skyscrapers in the background of a scene, and I went to my little bin of printed parts, and
Mm.
that was like
Oh.
my starting inspiration was finding like these little prints here. I'm like, okay, this could look like the side of a building, or this could look like the door or something.
Mhm.
So I kind of started there and let that inspire me, and then kind of built outward from like little one by one printed tiles.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great idea.
What about you, Bethany? I know you build like big stuff at conventions. I feel like a lot of it is often in minifig scale, though I've also seen you do buildable characters. So, like, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, so what I love to build and what I love to look at are two separate things. I love micro scale builds. I love looking at them. I try dabbling in them and I'm not very good. So my brain is always blown away by people who can, like on Instagram at Mini Modular Guy. He just rebranded his name to that. His micro scale builds, the way he can compose a whole Lego set in a teeny tiny little space, just always, I just love it so much. I tend to work in minifig scale because I enjoy working movement into my mocks, and that is just an easy way. I mean, you can make a minifigure jump, twist, move, slide, and it conveys like a story at that scale. I'm now working my way into larger scale creations, so having arms move or things like that that are large brick built. But my absolute favorite is to see those micro builds. I'm hoping to like participate in a mini modular city collab, maybe
Oh.
at some
Oh,
point.
fun.
I need to find someone who's doing it so I can join it.
You need to start it. You need to make
Right?
that happen.
Yeah.
I think I do, yes.
Yeah.
So those are my favorite scales to build in, but I really haven't met a scale I didn't like.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing I haven't done is like a one-to-one realism build yet. I haven't done
Mhm.
that because it requires a lot of bricks, a few more than what I own.
I mean, it depends. You could do something small, right?
I could
Start like
make
with
a,
your computer mouse, a headset. Like you got enough
I was
bricks
going to
for
go
that.
a Cheerio. No.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true.
No, that's what you do. You start small. And I would agree with you. There's no scale that I don't like either because it's all Lego building. We're all just having fun and it's a puzzle, right? It's a puzzle no matter what scale you're working at. It's a puzzle to try to figure out how to build micro because that's really hard. Building minifig is a puzzle to figure out, what size do I need to make this? A minifig could use it. And same, every scale you work at, it's all fun. I agree with you. There's no scale that I don't like.
I do feel like Lego has also been in the past few years releasing more sets in different scales. I feel like sculptures have become much more
Mm.
common in the past year or two, even art sets like the Mona Lisa. I don't know what exact scale we would say that is, close to life sizes. But Lego themselves has been experimenting a lot with stuff like those Star Wars bust, or I guess the helmets rather than bust from a couple years back. I think it's cool because then when they release these, it's going to inspire more people to try things on their own and then even just
Mm.
have the skill set from following the instructions to maybe then replicate that in some of their own designs too.
Yes, you're right. I hadn't thought of that. Even micro scale, they have some micro scale too.
Yeah.
Well, I did the large Harry Potter castle a few years ago, like the 7,000 piece one, and I did not realize when I was doing that was micro scale because of the scale of it. And I just, they have the little micro or the nano figures. Is that what they're called? The
Mm-hmm.
little tiny.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until years later, somebody mentioned that being a micro scale build, and I'm like, it is? Like, I hadn't even thought of it. But it is. So I love that. And that they do more micro scale too, because you're right. We're seeing more different scales sets from them too.
Really hope that we also see it within themes, like how Star Wars had those helmets, and then there's also been some of the dioramas are at micro scale with Star Wars as
Mm.
well. My dream set is for Animal Crossing to do a sculpture. Like I
Oh,
would love sculptures of some of the characters from Animal Crossing, or like even a
oh
sack of
yeah.
bells. Just
Oh,
I
that'd be
think it
so
would be
cute.
cool to see that. I
Yes.
guess Fortnite has also somewhat played around with scale, even just in their few releases as well.
Yeah, Peely Bone is a great giant figure.
Hmm. So one thing that I did recently was, well, I was cleaning out old Lego sets from my parents' basement because I have every set that I ever had growing up. So I love that I didn't get rid of those. And they're all
Oh,
vintage and collector's items now. And one of them was the homemaker set from, I want to say like 1978. I don't know what year that came out, but it's very old. And it was before minifigs. So they had these big people in it. And I remember growing up and playing with these big people. There was a grandma and a mom and a dad. And anyway, so I have this homemaker set and it was a kitchen countertop and sink and stove, and then a table and some of these big figs. My brother and I just call them big figs, but I think they're called maxi figs. I noticed when I was cleaning this up and putting it back together that the baby they used in that set was an actual minifig because I thought that minifigs didn't first get released until I thought maybe there was a police car that had the first minifig in it, and
Yeah.
then it was the Yellow Castle had a whole bunch of minifigs in it, and that was kind of the start of all the minifigs. But I didn't realize that the baby in this homemaker set was a minifig. Like
no
it's
way.
I
yeah.
did
You
So I
were,
not know
looked at it, I
that
was like,
either. That is
oh,
wild.
I was like, it's the minifig. And so then I had this idea to shrink that whole set down to actual minifig size because I remember now a baby for a minifig is this little baby figure, which is the cutest Lego piece
Hmm.
ever. I don't know if there's anything cuter than a baby. So then I thought, well, I'll shrink that baby down and use a baby, like a minifig baby, and then I'll shrink down the maxi figs to minifigs, and then I downsize the whole kitchen to minifig scale. And so I have these side by side, and it was just silly and fun, and it gave me a chance to play around with scale and compare the minifig, maxi fig, and baby figures.
That is such a cool piece of trivia that I had no idea about.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was the first one because I really don't know the like stats and history of Lego, but I do know that it is a minifig, and so maybe that was the first minifig, but maybe
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of as the first minifig that was released actually came out before that. So there was like a police officer. I
Yeah,
don't
the police
remember.
officer is the one that is like most commonly known as the first minifig.
Yeah.
But now I'm really curious. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to go look at exact release dates and see,
Yeah.
because I'm sure not many people were thinking of a homemaker set as being the one that would have had the first minifig ever in it.
Kelly, I looked it up. According to Google, it says that the first Lego minifigure was the police officer minifigure released in 1978,
Okay.
set 600.
Okay.
Your kitchen set is set 269, released the following year. What I find interesting though is the 269 is this younger number than
Yeah.
the 600. It's definitely got to be the first female minifig for sure.
That's true. Yeah, the little baby. Yep. Yeah, that's interesting. I knew they were close together. And for a while I was thinking the yellow castle was the first minifigs, but that's not it. It was the police officer. But that's interesting. I'm glad you looked that up because I did not know that.
That's so cool. I mean, I do find minifig scale pretty comforting, and especially when I started getting into mocking, which I don't know, I feel like I'm still starting, but habitats were kind of my entry point because it's very limited space, there's some constraints, it was easy to locate what I needed to fill it in,
Mhm.
and it's kind of the same like with furniture, doors, windows, like there's an element of comfort in minifig scale because some stuff is already set up for you, so then you can just riff a little bit on it, whether it's adding a rail plate underneath a pre-existing window frame or something like that. I feel like is a great way to dip into the world of mocking, especially if it's something that is a little scary to you. So minifig skill, I don't know. It's still like the one that I feel like I gravitate to the most, even though I love playing around, especially with micro. And we'll see. Y'all are making me want to try larger ones, but I'm not going to make
Yeah.
any promises yet.
No, that's great. Yeah, minifig scales is it's a great standby. And getting started with habitats is an awesome way to get started building mocks in general.
Well, thanks, guys, for sharing your answers to this episode's question of the week. For those listening, we would love to hear your answer. What kind of scale do you love building in? Share your answers with us on social media or by joining our Tips and Bricks Discord. We cannot wait to hear from you. And with that, Clay, I believe it is time for us to have a game.
All right, so it's time for our first game today, which is a good old staple of the Tips and Bricks podcast, and that is Guess the Part. So, all of y'all listening, and of course, y'all here with me are familiar with this game, but I have a few specific Lego parts in mind that I'm thinking of. I'm going to give y'all some clues, and you are going to compete against one another to see who can be the first person to guess the part that I'm thinking of. You will have one guess per clue. And of course, y'all playing at home, you have unlimited guesses. So we want to know if y'all are going to be able to beat Bethany or Kelly, if y'all are able to get the part with fewer clues or even guess it even quicker. So we would love to hear from y'all and how easy or difficult some of these were for y'all today.
I have a feeling I'm going to need all the clues.
All right, so Bethany, when you are ready to guess, this is going to be your sound.
Hey!
And then Kelly, when you are ready to guess, this will be your sound.
It's scary.
Don't be scared. You're going against me. There is nothing to be afraid
I
of.
know nothing. This is scarier than Lego Masters.
Dun dun dun.
I don't
All
like
right.
losing.
Well, we shall see how this goes. So, round one. I'm thinking of a part, if you can believe that. And I'm going to give y'all our first clue, which is the set with the highest quantity of this part comes with a staggering 180 of that part.
Oh, now I'm trying to think of sets that come with a huge amount of one type of part in them, with a lot of repeating builds or,
Hmm.
repeating units, like the Colosseum. I think that's like a large repeating build.
I I have two guesses, so I'm gonna flip a coin and just do one of them. So I'm gonna guess.
Hey!
Okay, let's see what you're thinking, Bethany.
Is it a Technic pin?
Oh,
Oh, that's a good guess.
it is not a Technic pin, but that is
Okay.
an excellent guess. I would not be surprised if there's a lot of sets that come with close to that number.
Yeah,
And you just reviewed the Pac-Man arcade set. Didn't that
I
have a
did.
ton? It wasn't that pin though, was it? It was a bunch of one
It
Technic
had
part.
it had a ton of pins and it had a ton of what my other part is that I was going to guess, but I've already used it my one guess, so I have to wait.
So we'll wait and see.
I gotta wait.
You do have a free guess if you want one, Kelly. It won't take away from any future clues. So if there's something you're thinking, you're welcome to, or you can hold off if you feel like it.
I don't know that I'm ready to guess unless it's something very basic and common, like a Technic pin, but I don't think you would pick that for this mystery brick.
That
So
would be pretty rude.
I know. I
Like
can
a
say
one by
like
one plate.
yeah, exactly. A one by one. Okay, here's my guess. Is it a one by one plate?
No. But now I
Okay.
really want to do something like super
I
basic
know.
like that for a future round
I
just
know.
to see.
I know you would pick something more clever than that.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and move to clue two. So, this was originally released in just a single color, and it was not recolored for another 13 years. So, it was only available in one color for the first 13 years of production.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, think you can try to think back to the first clue. Like, actually, this
Yeah.
would have again been a good one for Technic pin, perhaps, because I could have
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
seen that
Mm-hmm.
black
One
Technic
color and
pin.
180 of them. And I'm still thinking of the Colosseum that has a lot of tan, but tan, I don't, tan's a pretty common color. There wouldn't be something that wouldn't be recolored from tan for 13 years.
I feel like the piece I'm thinking from the Colosseum, I feel like was made into different things too soon to have been running solo for 13 years.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
will say too, there's a slight clue within a clue here because we know it's a piece that was in production or could still be in production for a while.
yeah. I know I did the favorite Brick Friday on the antenna, and that one went years without a recolor, but I can't think of a single set that had more than 4, 7, 10 of them.
Yeah,
Certainly not 180 antennas.
definitely not.
Mhm.
The world's craziest woolly caterpillar.
Okay, well, if y'all aren't feeling anything super strong, we can move on to the next clue.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some more
Yeah?
help.
All right, so our next clue is that this single part has more than a dozen connection points.
Stop it.
What?
I feel like when y'all get this one, y'all are going to be like, oh. So we know at least one set has had a ton of this. It was produced in a singular color for 13 years,
No, you wouldn't
and
have done that. Hmm.
and this single part has a lot of connection points.
No, but 180. I don't.
Exactly.
I'm gonna guess and be wrong, but I'm gonna have guessed, so I'm putting my chips on the table.
Let's see.
Is it? No, no, no. It's.
Say what you were
Oh,
thinking. You already buzzed in. Give it
I
to
already
us.
buzzed in. Is it ball joints? Like the toe
Oh,
ball joint?
no.
No.
Though
Okay.
we are desperately waiting for a recolor of that one.
Right? Yeah. 180. That's what's stumping me.
180 of them. And then this part has more than a dozen connection points, but that could be anything longer than a 1 by 6 brick. If you have a 1 by 10 brick,
Yeah.
you've got 10 connection points on top and 10 connection points on the bottom.
Yeah,
So
that
there's
is
more
kind of
than a dozen.
tricky.
So it could
Yep.
be a long brick.
I
It
was
could,
going with
exactly.
degrees of turning. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I'm just going with
Yeah.
connection points. I'm like, technically all you need is a 1 by 6 to get 12 connection points.
Kelly
But
is right there. That it could be anti-studs and studs. Okay, let's
yeah,
move on
but
to
I
the
don't know if
next
you're
clue.
counting that. Now I'm trying to think of things that go in multiple directions, and I can't think of anything except for maybe a bar. Like that octagonal plate with bars around the
Like,
outside.
Hmm.
That
is
would
But
that going to
have,
what
be
set comes with 180
right?
of
right?
those?
I don't know. I'm
I
still
do
stuck.
love that guess though, because there are a ton of connection points to that with the studs and the anti-studs and each of the
Okay.
individual bars.
So I'll make that. I haven't guessed. Like I'm
Oh,
terrible at
true.
this game. I haven't even guessed. So I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess the octagonal plate that has 8 bars around the outside. I don't know the name of the part.
I don't know. The octagonal plate is what I would
Octagonal
search for on
plate with
Bricklink too.
bars around the outside.
But no, that is not correct, even though it is
Okay.
a fantastic guess. And yeah, I don't think there could be a set with that many in them. Though, I don't
Mm-mm.
know, there could be something like a Hulk Buster or like
Yeah,
one of
I'm
those UCS collector Star Wars that maybe, but nah.
not
All right.
180.
So let's go with our next clue, which is the two rarest colors are yellowish green and medium lavender, and we will likely never see this part produced in a trans color.
Never say never, Clay.
I
Never
said
say
likely.
never.
I said likely. And I think there's a pretty good reason why we wouldn't see it produced in a trans clear color.
This is painful.
It
Um,
is.
Y'all will definitely know it on the fifth clue. So get
Okay.
any final thoughts out before then because it's just going to be a race to see who guesses it first on the next slide.
It's the I don't know. I got nothing. It's the two things holding me up are the single color for forever, and it comes in 180 count in a set.
Yep. All right, are we
If it's a
ready?
2x4 brick, I will beat you.
Imagine. We've seen those in trans colors though, and this one will almost certainly not ever be produced in one. All right, our final clue coming up
Hmm.
right now.
Hmm.
The set with the highest quantity of these is the Ideas Treehouse.
Oh,
Kelly?
I'm gonna say the leaf piece, the 6x5 leaf piece.
Boo, 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 boo!
That was my first guess, and I walked myself back because I was like,
180?
180? That's too many leaves.
Correct.
Well done,
Wait,
Kelly.
that was a good one. And I didn't realize that about the connection points. I didn't know that about the single color. Those are all
There were
great
some
clues.
surprising things about
Okay,
this when I researched it a little bit more. I'll give you a third a point for this, Bethany. Can you tell me the color that it was produced for 13 years?
pink.
And what's so funny about it is green, of course, was the color from 1987 to 2000. And then the next color it was produced in was bright green instead of just plain green.
Varieties, the spice of life.
Wow.
Now, it actually wasn't until 2006 that we got a non-green color, which was white in a Belleville set.
White. Okay.
So another shout out to Belleville, actually like bringing us some cool recolors and a part that I feel like has been incredibly useful. And I mean, I don't have
Okay.
100 and I mean, I guess I have 180 of these because I have the treehouse, but I don't have that many in my parts collection, and I would love more of them. And we've actually seen some incredible mocks. Like there's some from Azure Kingfisher on Flickr who uses this part in incredible ways. They make like balloons and mobiles and moving sculptures and like these
Oh, wow.
spheres. And it's in part because of how flexible this is. And I'm sure that y'all have seen that as well. Like in some of your older ones
Hmm.
are probably a little bent or not as smooth and beautiful as they are when they first come out of a box. And another great mock I wanted to point out with these is another Lego Masters alum is Lego Tacos Burritos, and she has these really cool wings, wearable ones that she's made out of primarily these. And she's shown them. I know she had them at Atlanta BrickCon, so
Hmm.
I mean they
That's
can,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her wearing those and it's really impressive. And it's neat how you can kind of weave those together to be like fabric because I've
Hmm.
seen other builders do similar things that I had not even thought of. So again, more inspiration, but that's a really cool way to use that part.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can definitely, and I mean, even that scale conversation we had earlier, like these, of course, were released at minifig scale for trees
Yeah.
and foliage, and now we can use them in so many other ways, like actual wearable life-size sculpture too. All right, well, that took all five clues, so let's see what some of these other ones are going to do for us. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the clue for our next round. This part's name indicates its original use, though it's now used in other ways, which I feel like is a little obvious. Not like an obvious clue, but this could apply to so many different things.
I'll say cheese slope.
Oh, it is not a cheese slope, though I do love. One of these days, I'm just going to do only one by one parts for these clues. Any guesses, Bethany, before we move on to another clue?
Oh, sure. Why not?
What you got?
Is it a door?
It is not a door. Though I would be curious. Are doors used in many different ways in Lego sets?
I've seen them used to make like ice frames or small ponds like built sideways. They've used
Oh.
them to, they've used them to like get things up tall as a platform. So like kind
Oh, yeah, yeah,
of.
yeah. Okay, I got it. All right, so let's move on to our next clue. It has only been produced in 7 colors, and dark tan and pearl gold are the most common appearances. And I will say, when I was researching this, the pearl gold one really surprised me.
Hmm.
I know of ones where pearl gold is the most common appearance and dark tan is the most common appearance, but I can't think of ones where the Venn diagram meets.
Or Dart Tan, Pearl Gold, and the part name.
Yeah, yeah, and it being one singular thing.
Yeah. Well, we can move on to the next
Well,
clue.
no, no,
Joe?
no,
No, you
no.
got one?
I'll
Okay.
I'll give a guess.
Hey!
Is it lightsaber handle?
Oh, great guess, but no.
That's a good
Yeah, because
guess.
that has the name. All right. Are we ready for the next clue?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This part's single bar connection is how it is used in innovative ways. And that is not just in mocks, but in official Lego
Oh.
sets.
Okay. All my guesses are going out the window. I have good guesses. I think, oh, this is what I'm gonna guess. And then you give me the clue and it doesn't fit. So
And then
like
I'm eliminating your thoughts.
I was gonna guess a bar. I was gonna say bar. And then I was gonna say headlight brick for the first one. You don't have anyway.
Okay,
Hey!
why not? Is it the 1x1 round stud with bar that's angled at a 45-degree angle? My second most favorite piece.
If I recall correctly, that was introduced in the Marvel CMF. So like it can show the minifigures jumping. It is not
Yep.
that part, but
Okay.
I love that part.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I will say, like, even some of what y'all have been discussing out loud, the part's name, again, is going to be our tricky thing here. So a part name and a bar connection to me is screaming minifig scale. So
Yeah.
let's see. Or did you have
Yeah.
a guess, Kelly?
I have a guess. I'm gonna guess ice cream cone.
Ooh, that is an excellent one. It's not it, but it is such a good guess with the little bar that the
Yes, with the
minifig can
bar on the
hold.
bottom.
Yes.
It's got a handle, but it's
Oh,
not,
that's a
I
great
still don't
guess.
think it fits the dark tan and pearl gold color scheme,
Yeah.
but that was my closest guess.
I love that you're sitting in your Lego room and got up and grabbed the piece. That is an unfair advantage. So awesome, though. So
You're
awesome.
like going through the drawers that have single bar connections.
Yes, I have all my bars. That's one of my categories. Is I have plates, I have bars, and I have clips. Clips and bars go together to me, so I have them organized. So my bar drawer is right there, and I had to go look at. I had to like see a menu option because I can't picture this.
Well, I'm curious once you figure out what this part is, whether it is in that bar collection that you have.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our next clue, which this one may be it. Without this part, there would be scooters down all over Lego City.
What?
I'm gonna guess the bucket handle.
Yeah.
It is the bucket handle slash scooter stand is the name that Bricklink has it as.
Yes.
So great work. Awesome.
Okay, that one, it's in my bar drawer.
It
It's
is?
down there.
Oh,
I just
okay. I was curious because to me, these that I have are in my minifig accessory tub.
yeah, that
So
makes
that's
sense
how
too.
is that
Yeah.
where yours are too, Bethany?
Yep, sure are.
Yep.
I was going through my 48 tubs of bar parts and going, no, 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 no,
Mhm.
no. But I didn't think minifig. Well done, Kelly.
Yeah, that was awesome. So it is part 95344, the bucket handle or scooter stand, according to Bricklink. We actually did a post on this one a little while back. Post 2303 was our favorite Brick Friday, and it breaks down a lot of the specific information. But the pearl gold is because it's used as horns and helmets in Ninjago.
Yes.
And that's why when I was researching, I was like, oh, it makes so much sense because the pearl gold part really threw me for a loop.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a
Yep.
Ninjago fan, Kelly? You seemed like
Yes, I do
okay.
like Ninjago, and I have a bunch of those. That's why they ended up in my bar drawer because I wasn't using the minifig helmets, but I have a lot of those
Mhm.
Ninjago helmets, and I love that piece for that single bar connection. That's
Yep.
exactly what you were talking about. I'm like, this is a great connection. And so I moved it from minifigs to my bar drawer. But yes, I do have it from all my Ninjago sets.
And it's another part that I didn't intend to discuss in this way, but it is great at micro scale. It's used like as antlers in a advent calendar reindeer. I can't
Yep.
remember in which
Oh.
advent calendar. I feel like it might have been Star Wars randomly. But like it can be used in a lot of those ways beyond just minifig scale to add cool detail. There's in that favorite Brick Friday post, there's some awesome examples. One of my favorites was from JBF Creations on Instagram. who built a life-size stapler and then just has the bucket handles just scattered beside it
Yeah.
as like the perfect size staple.
They are perfect.
That's amazing.
All right, round three, our new part. And your first clue here is this one by one part has only a single connection point.
I'll say my guess is 1 by 1 round plate with single bar. It's got a bar on the top part,
Oh
and
yeah.
the bottom part is an anti-stud. Or no, is it a stud?
The one that I think you're describing has it's basically like a stud with a bar stuck horizontally into it.
It's not stuck yeah, it's horizontally, but it's like resting on the top of it. It's not sticking out the side. It has I thought that was an anti-stud, but I guess never mind. I cancel my guess because it's a stud. What I'm thinking of is a stud on the bottom and a bar across the top. It's a one, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm I'm going to take a guess.
Hey!
Is it a Technic ball? So it has a
Um,
yeah, no, from your
it
face it's
is
not
not a
that.
Technic ball, but I see what you mean where the ball that has the opening
Mhm.
on the bottom
Hmm.
where it could receive a stud.
Yep.
All right, so we got some. I think it's good to get these guesses out of the way though, because a one by one part with only a single connection point, like we're gonna narrow this one down. So
Yeah.
our next clue is that this was introduced in a collectible minifigure series in 2019, and it has been in two more collectible minifigure series since then. However, in all three appearances across the CMF line, this part represents something different.
That threw my guess out the window.
I know, that's so interesting. I can't imagine.
Even though it's only a one by one part with a single connection point, it is something that can be seen as multiple different things at minifig scale, no less. Yes,
Is it a bird?
it is not a bird, but I'm. I like you just saying bird. It's like a whole category.
Yeah, well, in a parrot,
You're like any
parrots.
bird.
Yeah.
A cockatoo, an eagle. It is not any bird, no.
Well, you know what I mean, like because they'll have like parrots and they'll
Yeah,
recolor
yeah,
it to be,
yeah, yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
well,
I know.
fine, whatever.
Oh well, and even like the rooster one, like the one that we were talking about
Hmm.
in your Lego Masters build before, that has been like architectural details and actually been a
Hmm.
chicken. So I could see where some
Mhm.
animals are used in different ways.
Yes. Um,
Yes.
I will guess an ice cream swirl.
Ice
You know
cream
what I'm
swirl.
talking about?
Hmm.
But like it
I
can be
do.
used as poop or an ice cream or
Oh, well,
whipped
guess what,
cream or
Kelly? You just nailed it on your second clue. That
what?
it is part
Yay!
53119, the round one by one plate with a horizontal swirl slash twist.
Yes, I called it an
Beth,
ice cream swirl. Just a swirl. Yes.
Well done, Kelly. That is a clean
Yay.
sweep.
wait, oh my gosh, it was, wasn't it? I thought you had the
Yeah.
first one, Bethany.
No, no, that was an absolute
Wow.
trouncing and a clean sweep. So, well done, Kelly. All right, everyone, we have one more round of Guess That Part to go. So far, Kelly has trounced me 3-0. If you want to find out what happens in round 4, do I make a stunning comeback or does Kelly take it all? You'll have to find out in our Patreon recording. Stay tuned for what happens.
So thank y'all for playing Guess That Part with us today, and we of course want to hear from y'all, our listeners. Let us know if you were faster, if you figured it out, or if you are still trying to figure out what we were talking about. And then also be sure to check out our recurring Favorite Brick Friday post, where we take one specific part, like some of these, like the bucket handle that we've done in the past, and just see ways that builders have tackled it and used it in really innovative ways. And as always, be sure to tune in for more fun rounds of Guess the Part. Our next segment today is a special one that comes straight from one of the types of posts that we share daily on our Tips and Bricks account. We don't do this as often as like, a set review or technique analysis, but these posts are highlights and they're some of our favorite ones to
Mm.
make across the team.
Hmm.
That's right, we're talking about a theme tribute.
In our theme tribute posts and podcast segments, we talk through a Lego theme. We discuss some of the things we loved about it, what else we would like to see, and we also talk about some of the cool parts or mocks that were inspired because of the theme.
So for today's theme tribute, I chose a theme that is a huge favorite of our entire team. I know Bethany and I are also like huge champions of this theme.
Hmm.
And I know that we love the sets, but I'm going to say, as someone who has reviewed these before, they are not the easiest ones to review. And that's in part
Mm-mm.
because they have really incredible techniques, amazing detail, and pretty much every set in this theme has had at least a handful of recolors. And some of them have had like 20 plus recolors in a single set.
Hmm.
This theme actually recently changed its name for 2025, and it's rebranded from the Botanical Collection to simply Lego Botanicals, which is probably what we were all calling it all along anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it just recently rebranded, and we're going to have our first poly bag in the Lego Botanicals line in
Oh, fun.
2025, which is really
Yeah.
cool. It launched in 2021. The bonsai tree and the first of quite a few flower bouquets were the first sets in the line, and I feel like it's exploded since then. There's been some holiday releases, and it's really a favorite theme in our household. My husband and I have built these, and they're like all over the house. Probably in every single room, we have like at least one Lego flower in a vase somewhere, if not an actual set sitting there. So this is like one of our favorite themes. And Bethany, I know you love it, but how do you feel about the Lego Botanicals, Kelly?
I love the Lego Botanicals. They just are so appealing. I love all the different parts that you get in them. I love, even if I don't have the sets, I love seeing your reviews and when they come out because I can see new parts and new colors that have come out and what you could do with those pieces. So I look at a Botanicals set and I see pieces that I never would have thought to use in any other mock, but they work really well as a flower or a leaf or something. And I think, oh, that's such a great connection. And so
Hmm.
Mm.
even if I don't build them and display them myself, I find a lot of inspiration in the techniques used in them. So I love them. They're really fun and gorgeous and make great decorations and good gifts for people. I find that they're
Yes.
good gifts for people who maybe
Yeah.
don't consider themselves a Lego hobbyist, but would have an interest in building a cool Lego
Hmm.
plant for their office or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, Bethany, haven't you gifted some of these to people
Yeah.
before, right?
So, yes, this is actually one of the things that got my mother-in-law on her path to being interested in doing Lego. So, I was putting together the Lego succulent set, and I was like, "Hey, it's plants. You love plants. Would you like to make one?" And she's like, "Oh, no, no, no. I don't do this." And I was like, "Look, it's just a small little few steps. You can do this." And like she tried it and loved it, and then since then we've just been giving them botanicals and things like that for the holidays and birthdays because they love them so much. So yeah, I love receiving and giving things from the botanical collection, now botanicals line,
AKA.
as gifts.
Yes, I mean, they make awesome gifts. We also gifted my mother-in-law as well the plum blossom, one of those recent of the four ones that come with their own small vases, which are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And she built it all on her own, which I was like, "You go, girl," because
Yeah.
those, especially the plum blossom, like there's a lot of small pieces and delicate touch. So I mean, what y'all are saying about really people who may not be in the world of Lego, I feel these appeal so much to them.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so much. And it's like Lego's finding a new audience with this line because they're appealing to so many more people. I'll jump on the bandwagon. I gave one to my mom too. I gave a botanical set to my mom. And I don't know what it is about wanting to give them to moms, but I
Hmm.
think because you tend to want to give flowers for occasions like birthdays and Mother's Day and stuff, and a Lego flower set or botanicals is so much longer lasting and it's fun to
Hmm.
do and it can be a permanent, beautiful thing to add to your house. And I also, since you mentioned the vases, I love the different pots and vases for each of the botanicals, even like the rectangular one for the bonsai tree and
Hmm.
there's a cool pot for the orchid and I was looking at the pot for the plum blossom and they're all different and they're all so cool and I never making a round shape in Lego is hard. So I appreciate all these different kinds of round designs that look beautiful on display. So I love that about the botanicals too.
Yeah. So the plum blossom and the chrysanthemum, those pots really are like very intricate. I was so impressed building them. There's like some upside down, there's some sideways building.
Oh wow.
Mm.
So they're very clever. And like you
Yeah.
said, they're each different too. So it's not like you pick up another botanical and it just feels the exact same.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that creativity.
So another thing we often talk about within this theme tribute is like what we expect or even want to see in the future of this line. So I feel like we've seen a great shift where there used to be more bouquets and some things that were kind of like freestanding, and now we're often getting a vase or a pot to hold them in. Is there
Mhm.
anything else y'all expect or want to see from Lego Botanicals in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like where think about where they could go with this line, and where they've already gone. They have such a great variety out right now. And I love that they came up with this. The Christmas wreath that I just saw, that
Yes.
people are doing right now is so awesome. I think, oh, I would love like different styles of wreaths for different holidays. That would be amazing. And I know some of my favorite things try and build is trees. Now, I don't think you can
Mm.
have like a life-size tree set from Lego. And I don't know how you would display a tree, like a miniature tree on your table or whatever, but I think there are some fun tree shapes. I would love to somehow see trees involved in their botanicals because I there's so many cool ones. And then what else was I thinking? Oh yeah. I really am a fan of these living walls. When I look at
Oh,
Mm,
yes.
sometimes they have them in airports or restaurants, like a mossy wall. It's vertical, it's mounted, and there's different shades of green, different textures of moss, and it's alive and they take care of it. But I think somehow combining the Lego Botanicals with the art line and making some kind of plant wall, something vertical that you could hang on the wall like that, like what I
mm.
call in my head is a living wall, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
out of Lego would be fun. I made a mock similar to that once, about a year ago, and I just made a small version of it, but like a mossy art piece. It was actually for a company. It was for Miracle Grow, and they wanted to showcase their brand. And I made this little living wall out of Lego pieces. But I think that would be something fun for Lego to
Hmm.
expand on is more greenery. You know, they've
Hmm.
done a lot of flowers, a lot of
Yeah.
vases, but I guess my mind is going toward the green things, the trees and mosses, and
Hmm.
making a mossy art piece for your wall would be fun.
That would be beautiful. I know that they had that gift with a purchase that was like a flower trellis.
Oh, yes.
That I mean, it's in the ballpark of what you're talking about, but
Yes, it
the
is.
ones you're describing that are like really just green instead of a couple
Yeah.
flowers growing, I think would be
Yeah.
so cool to see.
Yeah, it would be. Although the mocks that I've made that are sort of like that are very parts intensive and
Hmm. Yeah.
hard to do. It's a little hard to get grass pieces pushed so closely together, but
Yeah.
I feel like they could come up with some really great designs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Bethany? Any plants that you love or like any unexpected directions you would want to see this line go in?
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at my plant window, that's right next to where I'm sitting. And I have a lot of succulents. Now, they've already done
Hmm.
some succulents, but I would love to see a large jade plant or a
Mm.
large
Oh,
aloe,
yes.
maybe a large that's not really a succulent, but a large cactus of some kind.
Oh,
Some
cactus would be fun.
something
Hmm.
that really of the succulent set, my favorite was the barrel cactus with the little bloom on top. I would love to
Hmm.
see some larger cacti.
Yeah, I will say the tiny pots had some of the cacti, and they were some of my
Yeah,
favorites. So seeing one at a much larger scale, I think would be an awesome standalone set.
yeah.
Mhm.
I made a poor choice, maybe potentially. I was trying to make a mock of a living wall, and I put it all together, and then I needed the base plate for something else, so I took it
Oh
apart
no.
and have since lost all the parts to my succulents line. So I need to find them. Maybe I don't reassemble it. I don't know. Uh, but I've been given all the botanical sets with the exception of the Bird of Paradise, the very first one.
Oh, I
Mhm.
love that
That's
one.
so cool.
We waited until that one went on sale and got it, I don't know, 30 or 40% off somewhere.
Mhm.
Nice.
But that one really impressed me. It's a gorgeous display piece and was actually pretty fun to build too. There's even some stacking in an unexpected way, but the pot on
Ooh,
that one is so complex. Like,
really?
I don't even know if it's easy to take apart because of how complex it was.
Oh, interesting.
I'm down here in Georgia, and our state flower is the magnolia, and that's like one of my dreams is to see a
Ooh.
magnolia in Lego form. but the shaping of it is so delicate and the petals on it are so large that I don't know how Lego would represent it without some like those really big parts. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, would it look good? But that's my dream is to see.
The look you gave your dog is the look that I have given my children.
The
I
funny
know
thing
that look.
is that she loves eating magnolia pods out of our yard. Like when they fall out of the tree, she goes and holds them between her paws and chews on them. So
So
she's like,
cute.
"Oh, you talking about my treat?" Um,
That's you said the word magnolia and then she lost it.
right.
Oh.
But I think I said enough about that anyway.
I really appreciate the botanical line. So I did mention my plant wall. I have some medical complications. That means sometimes I am not able to give my living plants the nurturing that they need because medical emergencies take me away for a while. And I appreciate that the Lego plants can provide living color, that happy feeling of a plant without the burden of trying to keep it alive. Like that's something I have come to really appreciate. The orchid is one of my favorite flowers. It's something very meaningful to my husband and I, and having the ability to enjoy that without going, "Oh shoot, it died while I was in the ICU again." Like it's just really nice to have those things just be evergreen and enjoyable all the time.
Yes, I agree. And I love how realistic they look. Like at first, you can't tell that they're Lego until you get close. And I know that I made a mock of a fern plant once, and I
Mm.
bring it with me when I travel places. And sometimes I speak to groups like schools and libraries, and I'll do meet and greet, bricks and minifigs and stuff like that. But I'll bring my little fern because it's easy to travel with, and I just have it sitting right there. And people probably don't know why I bring a plant. Like they're in line, or we're talking or something, and don't realize that the plant that I have sitting in front of me is not actually a real plant. And it's not until they get close to it they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's made out of Lego," and everyone's shocked. And I feel like the botanical line does that too with like their
Mm.
orchids, the plum blossom. I looked at that, and I was like, that is so gorgeous. Like it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look fake. And then so you have this realistic looking beauty to add to your house that, like you say, never dies. You don't have to worry about it. Maybe dust it. That's the only care you have to give for it.
Dusting
Yes.
is so much easier than watering and pruning.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you both for sharing your love of this wonderful theme. Like we said, this is a huge favorite of the team. It's sets we love to talk about, and I enjoyed hearing kind of what y'all loved about it too. And also that fern that Kelly has made is really awesome. So make sure y'all go to her Instagram and check that out too. And we also want to hear from y'all, our listeners. So please reach out to us at Tips and Bricks, share how you feel about Lego Botanicals, and then as always, look back over some of our previous theme tribute posts. And we've done a lot of Lego Botanicals reviews as well. So be sure to go to our website. You can look at the set reviews category and easily sort to find all the things we love about the many Lego Botanicals that we've reviewed.
Well, it's time for another game, and I am very excited because of what we're going to be talking about. Now, we just finished talking about botanicals. So, for our game today, I thought, what if we do something a little botanical adjacent? So, today's game is going to be Make It, Mod It, Mock It, where we throw out three Lego sets and decide are these ones we would make, mod, or mock? Now, here is how we define those: making it, building it per set instructions; modding it, meaning you modify it. You change a few things, but it's fairly identifiable as what kind of set it is. And then mock it is when you're just taking those parts and doing something completely different with it. So, for today's segment of Make It, Mod It, Mock It, I thought, like I said, we'd go some botanical adjacent sets, and we're going to be discussing Dancing Groot, the mandrake, the screaming plant from Harry Potter, and the piranha plant. To get us started, Kelly, would you be willing to describe Dancing Groot for our listeners?
Yes. Dancing Groot is such a cute little set. He is in a little pot. He looks all organic. Groot has these vines kind of growing all over him. So he's not just brown, he's got nice little green accents. And then he's in this white pot. And He can have his headphones on and he can have sunglasses on too. I think you can take those off too. But anyway, he's in this little pot and he has mechanisms built in. So he does dance and that's what makes it so fun. But you can turn this little crank on the back of his pot and then he dances and he kind of shimmies from side to side and it's super cute.
It totally is. Going from something that's super cute to something that screams really loud. Clay, would you tell us about the Mandrake set?
So the mandrake, of course, comes from the Harry Potter theme. From afar, it kind of just looks like a plant in a pot. The mandrake has these huge green leaves that have large stickers on top of them to like look like the spines of a leaf. And then kind of right above the lip of the pot, you can see the face of the mandrake and some of its like arms as those kind of brown elephant tail pieces, I think they are kind of like climbing over the edges of the pot. You can also grab the mandrake and actually lift it up out of the pot, and then it has a part on its front where you can kind of slide it down to have it screaming. This is another really cool set, and I mean, I really can't overestimate how big those leaves are. They are huge green leaves that kind of stick out really far beyond the confines of the pot.
Wait, so the mouth actually like moves? Oh, I didn't know that.
Uh-oh, now you're second guessing your picks, huh?
I am. I'm second guessing.
You didn't realize this one had a little bit of a function in it.
I didn't know. I kind of like that. For the third set, we're going to be talking about the piranha plant, part of the 18 plus sets from the Super Mario line. It is a plant with a piranha mouth. It's a giant red plant with white dots. It's got these white rim around it that look like giant white lips almost. Fang teeth. It sits in a green pot. It's got two little green leaves that pirouette out to the sides. And the piranha plant also can be removed and can show you some secret coins that are hiding underneath. So that's kind of fun.
Oh,
That is
Um,
fun.
so all three of these sets are kind of plant-ish. They're definitely homages to their various themes, but it is time for us to decide what we are going to do with them. So Kelly, can you tell us what you would do for your Make It? What is your Make It set?
For the make it set, the one I would just build, I would build the dancing Groot. I love the mechanism of him just being able to dance around. I love the design of his body. I like Groot. Like I who doesn't like Groot? But I love I love having Groot. And this is not something I would ever make myself. So I love the design that these designers have done for him. I love that he's got these green vines around him. I love the movement of him being able to dance around. And I just like everything about the way this is. So the one I would want to just build and have on my shelf is the dancing Groot.
yeah, that one is awesome for all of the reasons you've mentioned. And same with me in terms of like, I would not be able to build this on my own. So using it as a foundation is actually why I would put it in my mod category.
Oh,
I know. Like you said, everybody loves Groot. I cannot argue with that. But because of the mechanism already designed in here, I feel like I could kind of strip the Groot pieces off and then make it whatever character I wanted.
Oh.
The only one I can think of is those like inflatable people outside of car sales that like do the
Yes,
wild
those are
waving
fun.
arms. Like off the top of my head, that's
wow.
all I can think of. But I'm sure like you could do really anything with it. Like you could make a kind of goofy looking monster. If you wanted to, you could make it a humanoid and like use the structure of the arms to resemble an actual person's arms with hands on the end. I am not someone who's strong with movement like Bethany. So to me, I would just want like this base structure of the Technic and then kind of mod onto it whatever character I wanted.
Yeah, I can see that. That's good.
All right, that's fair. So, way to jump the line, Clay. What is your Make It? Since we're starting with Make It.
For my make, I'm going with the Piranha Plant. I feel like it's kind of perfect as is. I am a Mario fan. I've been playing a lot of Paper Mario lately, and these Piranha Plants are one of my annoyances, but I just love it. Like, it's kind of cute and adorable in a menacing way.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to hear if y'all are gonna mod or mock this one, but just kind of out of the box. I think it's a perfect, adorable little set, and I would be so happy to display it on a shelf somewhere.
Well, my make it is going to be the Dancing Groot. Because I do think he's just adorable. I also love his price point.
Yeah.
He's not that
Yeah.
expensive. He's only 45 bucks in the US. The cheapest of all three of these that we're talking about. He's just super cute and like the little dancy shimmy. When I was a kid, I had one of these sunflower things that you could talk to and it would repeat back what you said, but did a little dance as it did it. And this just reminds me of this. And so nostalgia hits for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Since Clay has already given us his modded, Clay, you're going to be doing the Dancing Groot. Kelly, you picked Dancing Groot as your make
Yes.
it. So what is your modded?
My modded is going to be the Mandrake. I love that one too, because I love that little Mandrake. Like his face, it's so cute, and his little wrinkly body. I think they did a really good job. And so I was trying to decide would I make this one too, but I actually picked this one for my modify because I love those leaves so much, those large green
Mm,
leaf pieces on top.
Hmm.
But I really like the look of those. And I would modify it, meaning like my plan was to get multiples of these sets or just more so that I can get more of those leaves and kind of combine it. I think I would try
Oh.
to add more leaves and combine it into a bigger set basically. Because I really like the design of the Mandrake and his rooty like hands and legs. Like I can see myself building up the greenish top part a lot more because I love those large green
mm.
leaf pieces. And I would just want to make that bigger and fuller. And that's how I would modify this.
Making it fuller would be cool if I had chosen to mod this, which I didn't. I think it would be nice to make the pot a little bit deeper too, so that its face is almost fully hidden. So, like you're saying, where you have those big, lush, full leaves is almost all you
Mm,
see until you kind
yeah.
of lift it out and then you see the full character.
Yeah.
My modded would be the piranha plants. I saw JK Brickworks do a video where he managed to make the piranha plant move side to side in his mouth, like crunch and munch the whole time. I want to figure out how he did that. So he has a video where like he shows himself building it up. I want to see if I can do something similar. It would 100% be an homage to his, but I just think that that would be fun to have it move like that.
Yeah, that would make sense too. The movement is more than just the mouth, so I'll have to look that one up. I'm so curious to see that. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It's a really cool design that he did. Let's move on to our last ones, our mock it. Kelly, what would you mock and why?
Yeah, for me, the piranha would be the one that I would mock. And only because I think that I am not as passionate a Mario fan to have it on my shelf. I like Mario. I don't think that I don't, but I'm not passionate enough to have it on my shelf. But I see some of those pieces in there, those red quarter domes or whatever with the white spots. I
Mhm.
love those curved white slopes around like the lips. And then I see all the green pieces in the stem, leaves, and pot. And I tend to make plants as my mocks. Like I do a lot of landscapes. So I can see myself using all those green pieces a lot in grassy areas or something,
Hmm.
but I could see myself using those red pieces too to change those into something different, like mushrooms or I don't know. I don't know what. I would have fun getting creative with those red quarter domes. So that would be the one for me. I would part it out and I would make a new mock out of it.
It does really scream mushroom to me too.
Yeah.
I know Bethany got to review the
Mushroom House from the Bricklink Designer Program.
by Jonas Graham.
Yeah.
Those prints would be so perfect at that
Perfect.
scale too. Like it really just looks like an adorable little mushroom cap.
Yeah.
Well, Clay, what is your mock
My
it?
mock is the Mandrake, and it's actually for some of the reasons Kelly mentioned why it would be your mod, and that's because those big green pieces are so awesome. The leaf pieces are just brilliant in it. And I also think I could reuse those stickers.
Mm.
Maybe I would put them on this. I don't know, maybe it's blasphemy to talk about a sticker crossing multiple parts. But like I could see these just going against a background of like stacked bricks and adding a little visual detail.
I love that.
Also, the like tail and trunk parts in here, the little vine pieces, I really love those
Mm.
parts as well. So anything to make a root, a tree, a forest scene, like I would really love having a lot of these parts in my collection.
Yeah.
When I originally made my list, I did not know its mouth opened, and that made me love it a lot more than when I first saw it. My mock-it would be the Mandrake set because originally I was just like, okay, it's fine. Like it's fine. But knowing that like his mouth goes when you open him, I think this would be hilarious. So we have a place on our wall where we put the Lego potted plants, and I think this would be hilarious to put it there, but I feel like I would need to change a bunch of things maybe. I don't know. I feel conflicted with my
I
answer,
know.
but I'm going to go with mock it for this one, but no one judge me if I buy it whole.
No, all three of these were good.
This was
Yeah,
hard. It was hard to decide because I would build all of them, but they all have great parts too. So it was a hard choice.
for sure. I felt the same way. I'm like, I would put all three of these on my
Yeah.
shelf. Like, no
Yeah.
complaints here.
Yes.
Well, just to recap, Kelly had her dancing Groot for her make it, Mandrake for her mod it, and Piranha Plant for her mock it. Clay, your order was Piranha Plant, Dancing Groot, and Mandrake. And mine was Dancing Groot, Piranha Plant, Mandrake. I love that no two of us had the exact same list.
Yeah, I love it.
That was super fun. I just thought since we were talking about botanicals, why not like throw in a little pseudo botanical fun? I know when they first announced the piranha plant, I made a post that we posted on our story of like, haha, April Fool's newest addition to the botanical line. And like now they've come up with some others. And I just think it's fun when they make plants that are plants but are not botanical plants.
No, that was perfect.
Well, let's go ahead and finish things up. Clay, take us home.
So, yeah, that's all we have for today's episode of the Tips and Bricks podcast. Thank y'all both for being here today. As I was preparing for this, I felt like it was going to be so much botanical conversation, but we went all over the map. Like, we talked about so much stuff today. And it was so fun to hear y'all's thoughts and opinions. And every time we record an episode, I'm inspired. So I'm going to go sit in that Lego loft tonight and I'm going to do something. I just don't know what it will be, but I mean, it's not going to be a life-size replica of anything. I will tell y'all that won't start tonight. But I'm definitely going to do some building after we get off this call. So thank y'all for the inspiration as always. Do you have any final thoughts or any projects that you might be working on you want to share with us, Kelly?
I mean, I always have a long list of projects that I want to work on. So I've had a bunch of commissions keep me kind of busy earlier this year. And right now I'm in a lull. Like I kind of have a slow time right now. So I'm actually getting to build things that are just for me, just for fun. And I haven't gotten to do that in a while. So I'm going to start crossing things off my brainstorming list. I keep a running list going of whenever I see something that inspires me to want to build a Lego model, I'm like, oh, I got to write that down so I don't forget all my brilliant ideas, but then I never get around to it. So yeah, so I'm going to work on some projects that I have had in mind just for fun. I would share specifics with you, but I actually don't know which ones I'm going to get to right now. So you can follow me on social media and I always share everything I make there and you can just be surprised. But this was a really great conversation with you guys. It was so fun to talk about the botanicals and have kind of this botanical theme here because that's one of my favorite things to build and sets or mocks. So thank you for the great conversation today.
And you are one of the best follows on Instagram. I have to say, everything you post is always, and you do a mix of sometimes photos, sometimes reels. So it's nice to like really get to dig into the details of what you have.
Thank you. That's nice.
Will you let the audience know where they can find you on Instagram and anywhere else that you'd like them to follow you?
Yeah, I mostly post on Instagram. That's my main social media platform, and my handle there is Kelly Bartlett 31. So give me a follow if you want. I share pictures of the things that I make, like mocks, and then I'll share some videos. That's what you're talking about, is sometimes I do videos of some process and tips and techniques that I use, which sometimes make people upset, but I just like I like
Not the dreaded illegal
I know
techniques.
I get so many comments about illegal. That's illegal, bro. And I get called bro a lot too. It's not my intention to make anyone mad with the things that I post, but I do try to just share the techniques that I use. Sometimes I make my own stickers. Sometimes I use illegal techniques. I don't personally care about it. So, I just think there are really creative ways to use Lego pieces out there. And like I said, Lego is art. It's an art medium. And so use it however you want to make art. And I have a lot of fun doing that. And I just like to share what I create with anyone who is interested in following.
Well, and I'll say too, I've learned some really helpful tips from you as well. Whether it's like, hey, here's some tools you can use, or tools you can make out of Lego that you can use. Like, it's given me a lot of really great ideas too. So it's not just all illegal techniques.
Well, that's awesome.
There's some
Thank you.
wonderful stuff as well. Like it's an absolutely fun follow.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. It has been awesome. And to all our listeners out there, make sure you tune in to our next episode. Until then, you can always continue the conversation with us at Tips and Bricks on Instagram, YouTube, and join us on Patreon. You can find that link in the podcast description.
And Kelly and I had an opportunity to record a bonus segment. So where we talk about a little bit behind the scenes of our Lego organization. Do you want to hear that? Come join us on the Patreon and you can catch that segment. If you enjoyed today's episode, we would also be very grateful if you could rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Leaving the review really helps fellow listeners just like you find us. Until next time, I'm Bethany with Clay and Kelly signing off. Happy building, everyone.